Hello, this is Abby Jr. It is September 22nd, 2021, as you can see here. And today I'll be talking about blood and the components of blood. So starting off, I have a slide here on the screen. So pointing out a couple different things. Top three here, we have white blood cells, 1, 2, and 3. And then these more pink cells are red blood cells, and down here, these cell fragments here are platelets. So that's a general overview, and then I'll go into each one. And so starting off, we have those red blood cells. They are the characteristic pink-stained cells, and they do not have a nucleus, as you can see. They have a biconcave shape. You can see in the middle of them here. So I'll zoom in. So in the middle, it's a little bit lighter. That's because of that biconcave disc shape. They're thinner in the middle, and that allows them to kind of fold and go through capillaries to transport in the blood and get to tissues and organs that need it. So those are the red blood cells. And then next, there are these platelets here. So zooming in here, it is the cell fragments. So these cell fragments, the platelets, come from megakaryotes, which the thrombopoietin, it breaks off cell fragments from these megakaryotes. So that's what causes this shape, if you will. It shows the cell fragments here, and those are the only one. The platelets are the only ones that look like cell fragments. And then next, we will talk about white blood cells. So there's 5 different types. The first ones right here. So we have neutrophils. Neutrophils are they are granulocytes, so they have granules. I'll zoom in here. This one here has, so on the outside, not outside, but in the cytoplasm, there are granules, and they're a neutral color. They can be stained with either basic or acidic dyes, and they show up as like a lilac color. And then the lobes, as you can see, there's 3 here, the nuclei, and these there can be anywhere from 2 to 5 lobes in neutrophils. And then next we have eosinophils, which is pictured here. These have 2 lobes, as you can see. And in the cytoplasm, they also have granules that are large, uniform sized, equally spaced, and they show up as a red-orange dyed with acidic dyes. So that's eosinophils. And then we have basophils, which, as the name suggests, they're stained with basic dyes. So the basophils are pictured here. They often have they have really coarse, dark stained granules in the cytoplasm, and their nucleus tend to be obscured. So it's either an S shape or a U shape. So this is the basophil here, and the nucleus is generally like dark purple. And then we will talk about the agranulocytes. So there's no granules in these. So these are the lymphocytes pictured here. It has a large spherical nucleus that's stained dark purple, and on the outside it has like a pale blue cytoplasm. So right here, and this one is also a lymphocyte. And then next we have monocytes, which are all the other type of agranulocytes. So here in the cytoplasm, there's those no granules, and it's again pale blue. And then the nuclei are kidney-shaped, sort of. Kidney-shaped here, here, here. And those are those monocytes. Sorry. And that's it for those 5 types of white blood cells. I apologize. And so now I'll talk about a blood disease that it's an autosomal recessive genetic disorder, so sickle cell disease. The main characteristic of sickle cell disease is the red blood cells become a sickle shape rather than so I'll just zoom in here because it's right nice and easy. So these are the red blood cells here, and instead of having that biconcave shape where, they can fold and go go through capillaries and everything to transport through the blood, they get a sickle shape. And so that causes blockages in blood vessels, and it prevents blood flow to certain organs and tissues that need it. So that causes not as much oxygen to be transported to those tissues and organs. So the main consequence of sickle cell disease is generally pain. Males can experience priapism, and another unique kind of characteristic of sickle cell disease is if someone is a carrier, so they don't have the two recessive traits, they just have one recessive trait and one dominant from one parent, so that kind of silences the trait for them. And if they're just a carrier, as I mentioned, they have a higher resistance to malaria. So that's a little fun fact. And those are the main components of blood. We have the red blood cells, we have platelets, and we have white blood cells. Thank you.